Genesis 3:23. So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. Yeah, this proves Adam is not from the Garden of Eden. He's not made by the soil or the elements from the Garden of Eden. He was taken from that. When you say taken in the ancient time, back that time, I think God will not walk or God will not take the train or something. You know, like gods, they just fly. They use those vehicles. So it even proves ancient people, they have the memory of a bird's view, and then they have the memory of all the terrains like a map-like. Some like either Aztec or Indian culture, they have huge birds, huge like a script on the terrain, on the ground, right? And but you have to see it from the very high, like in the sky. So I think possible. Is that possible? Back that time, those heavens, they do made these as a symbol, as a mark, or some kind of for their own fun. That's, I guess, or their settlement, symbol of their settlement. So when God banished Adam, the banish means like you basically, you're not just fired. You were put in the records. You cannot come back. It's you out of this project. You out of the total. You out of a file. You know, and take back to where you come from, and like everybody else. So Adam was the chosen one to start the test in the lab. However, it failed. So he went back to, I don't know, North Africa or wherever like we think like a human starts. That's what I think. Also think deep about Adam's situation. Why God banished him from this garden, the Eden garden. Let's make it a more modernized kind of like ways. Adam was a special force. He has access to a lot of weapons, a lot of tools. He knew a lot of like some classified informations, and also himself, because of those training, because those kind of equipment, he have the capability to conduct a lot of things normal life people cannot do it. However, Adam out of this project, so he cannot access those equipment, those devices anymore. He cannot even perform some technologies, right? And but what Adam he still has is his memory. His memory regarding the Eden. His memory regarding what he can do, what others can do. So he has a memory of what? Of the dress they wear. They have the behavior. The food might have the food they're eating. Might have the spaceship. Might have the language they talk. Whatever. That's all in his memory. But when God banished him from the Eden, I would say may, not 100%, but definitely because the lab is different environment. So his capability was changed. So when Adam back to think human being starts from North Africa, where that is I forgot. Yeah, but anyway, the North Africa, that place, back to where it is. What he always want is, that's heaven. That's good place, right? Compared with those caves, those kind of hunger, those things. All he wants is, let's go back there. So he might just leading his people start to move towards that direction, towards the center, Middle East, or towards the Iraq, whatever, towards that direction. He tried to remember. Also, he might recall the dress they wear, but you can't find the material in the real life. So he might use some kind of feathers, some kind of bones, something, or whatever. He might recall his rifle, AK-47, but you don't. So you know what? Got a staff. Then add a couple like a sharp bone, sharp stone. Well, at least it feels like an AK-47, right? And you don't have a dress, so you at least you have some kind of weird clothes. A lot of high priests back that time, they wear like a really weird clothes, so separate from them from the regular barbarians. So also he might still remember the language, the ways they use willing power to conduct a lot of like activities. So maybe those spelling, those really interesting spelling, he might just recall a couple of it. Some may work, some may not work. At least better than most of it. So Adam, I believe, the high priest is the priest is whatever. He made himself, his knowledge, his memory, everything made his family separate from everybody, because he has the memory of Eden, and he tried to pass those knowledge, try to do those things in the real life. Genesis 3:24. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. This is after he drove the man out, which means he doesn't want the man to know. So after he drove the man out, then he started to put the guard to shut down the plant. But why it came out to the east side of the garden, something, I think the man has the experience of a bird view. So based on his memory, he defined the direction. So the east, this word, first time came out from the Bible. Then a sword is a flashing flame and flashing back forth, which means it's not like a 24/7, it's that kind of sword. It has a pattern. So one thing I think probably it just if flashing, then probably it's for power purpose, power saving or whatever, the circuits related. Another is that possible God left a one hint, or kind of like a game, you like a Mario or those games, flashing back forth. If you find a pattern, you may just get into the next game, right? That's what I thought. Yeah, cherubim is a animal, is a heaven, kind of like, should I say, heaven's animal. They have wing, they protect, they guard, they fight, those things, but they are not angels. They are more machine like. They just take the order. So they don't have much, they have no self decision to make. They just do what they've been told. So that's what I believe why the cherubim right there. As long as you meet the condition, or you can get in, or nobody can get in. But if you can take the chance, or you can smart enough to go through the flashing back forth through that gap. Yeah, that's the tree of life is still right there. So we have the wisdom, but if we need to kind of become part of a God or like them, there is only one way. There is a very narrow path to go through. Also, not many people can go through. The reason is because the sword is flashing back forth, so the time is limited. Also, there is a cherubim right there, so you can't have too much people get the eternal life or live forever. I still believe that live forever and the eternal life is different. So, maybe many people can gain eternal, but only very, very few, or maybe only 1, 2 can became one of us. That's I gain from this sentence. Let's put chapter 2 and chapter 3 together to see what's going on. I think from beginning, when God created human, when he told you should not touch the tree or you surely die, right? This from the heavens agreements, he actually, or should I say, violates the 2 rules. One is the free will, because when they set the fruit in the center of the garden, supposedly the man should go himself, so go through a certain way, harder way, whatever, to find out. But God give a precaution. So this against the free will. Second thing is, when God talk about death, it's just in the quantum theory, you don't talk. You talk, you bring it. So you change the rule, change the ending. So from the cause and the consequence, he actually bring himself into it. So this, based on these 2 things, heavens, or those kind of other leaders, they want their representative Lucifer to possess the serpent, and to go through this channel to start a coup. Yeah, it's a coup. But the coup, I think heaven do not believe bleeding, blooding, brutal kill, those kind of things, because since they moved from far away, they came here, and the amount, every member are treasure, so they don't want it through that method. They want to just overthrow his power. They want to change a different method to start their settlements. So the serpent, when the Lucifer, the technique for them to do is they through language. The language it's kind of like a protocol between the first command. So they throw logic, negation, and they throw human, what should I say, the women's, his desire, his analysis. That's deeply embedded in our capability. Just kind of like fishing. You use one thing, you go wiggling a little bit, lose this, then you let a woman take initiative. So did a serpent do anything? Yes, he tempted it, but do you think he has a sin? Not really. Because I'm just ask questions, dumb question, or You made all the decision. You think all the way. You run yourself. So that's the first stage. It's because of the violation, because of the coup, and so we start to our journey of a new journey. So excuse my English, it's not my native language. So previous video I say the women his, actually just her. So but anyway, I think you understand. The second stage we talk about is heavens and the God. They were watching the whole thing, whole coup. So after the coup happened, right? So you need a justice. You need to like responsibility. So the responsibility, who gonna take the responsibility? So they start from snake, the serpent, then from the women, from the men, then eventually to God. God will take responsibility also. And that explains why the 6 days God creates everything, creates a human. Then on the 7th days, God went to holy Sabbath. He take a break because he was removed from the position. So that explained why there are so many so many giants, so many gods rule the earth later on, all those things. Yeah, he was removed from this position. That's what I believe. He's not active God anymore. So God used his method to punish snake, women, and men. He used a curse. It's not necessarily that he cursed, but he just removed his blessing, removed his protection. And so snake, actually the lightest punishment ever get it. But probably serpent, they lost their wing, they lost their their strength, they cannot make a fire anymore. They shrink to the size of a snake. That's I guess that's the whole environment, the gene change. Women back that time, she may have a child or may not know pregnancy. I don't know how long he and Adam they had a sex, but I didn't say women was pregnant. Also, based on the time she gave birth to the child, I think it's pretty hard for her to give a birth, to get pregnant. So she has no idea what kind of painful things will have. However, good put the hope within the curse. She suffered the pain, but if you give a birth through natural birth, these kind of pain will help you expand your nerve system. And after recovery, a woman who had a child will be more stronger and wiser than virgin, or when just regular women without kids. Then same thing, the man, God removed his capability of just manage animals, get the food for free. God put him, you have to feel the pain. Your body will have inflammation, and I give you the herb, and you have to work your butt off to work for your food. So men gradually lost their superpower, their capability of above everybody. That's the second stage. Yeah, the third stage is God start to shut down the Garden of Eden. And when God shut down the Garden of Eden, he placed some kind of either device, either whatever, some cherubim near the entrance. But same thing, curse and blessing, hope and the death always together. So he left certain pattern. if you able to go through it, the Eden's still right there. And but for Adam and Eve, what they have is their capability was sealed, and their memory gradually was start to fade. But they still have some kind of memory about Eden and their previous life. So that's the reason at the very far beginning, Sumerian and those Asian culture, they showed very interesting like a structure, their building, the way of they worship. That I think start to make sense. Yeah, I was wonder why God doesn't want us to take the fruit for life. I think we still need to back to the very far beginning. The purpose of a setting life tree and a knowledge tree, because heavens were watching. So they gave a free will choice, either or. Either this, either wisdom tree or either life tree. So it will lead to total different ending. It will make like you have wisdom, you cannot have the life tree. You have a life tree, you cannot have wisdom. However, at the beginning, God, I believe he compromised the freedom will, the rule of freedom. So he told us not to touch the wisdom, which means he may want us to pick the life fruit. So the testing sample or the result he wanted is not current. The wisdom showed he wanted us more obedient and more controlled. But the other party of heaven believe he compromised this rule, so they send Lucifer possess the serpent. Then the serpent tempted women to pick the wisdom fruit. So at this point, the other party, they compromise the rule of the free will also. So both of them, they compromise the rule. The probably other party wants more. They want a partner, but they want just a short-term use partner, because they do not favor this abyss. Because for the abyss, we made it by the ashes, made it by the dust. So the main material was made of just bacteria, virus, and those things. So we are just made of it. We are not naturally born with it. So for us, we naturally just lower than them. And they want us smart so they can use us good. But eventually, we're still lower than them. Same thing, God. He wants us, or he may want us to live longer, live forever, because at the beginning, God gave really like a 900 years, 1,000 years, really long life. You can see the Bible recorded. But he wants us more obedient, more listening, instead of develop a lot of wisdom or uncertainty. So the both of them wants their results. The both of them compromise the rule of free will. That's, I believe, at the very far beginning. So live forever and the wisdom cannot be hold in one body. If could, then that would be God. That would be God or gods. That's the all life they have. But at this moment, we still need to deal with life, the good and the evil. We need to struggle between good and the evil. If we have the eternal life or forever life, we still will be struggle with good and evil, because that's the ultimate battle in the universe, and that's even God between the gods, between the heavens. They have the good and the evil battles.